It is Monday night, and we are live once again. The Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series, round number 7 tonight. We gathered to remember a longtime racer at ITZR and friend to many on the service, Daniel Williamson, the Daniel Williamson Memorial 126. I'm Jeff By Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the broadcast booth. And Bill, I think we said last week it's a race we want to have, but a race we don't want to have. And unfortunately, last year we lost Daniel Williamson, and tonight 34 drivers here in his memory to put on a heck of a show for him and let him know that we're still remembering him, and let his family out there know that we're thinking about them as well.
Absolutely, Jeff. It's definitely a night that you don't want to have. It's kind of a somber mood. I mean, we're usually pretty up for these races, and I think tonight maybe not so much, but we'll do our best. Daniel was a good friend to us, and even a teammate for me for with me for a short time. So definitely missing Daniel, and we definitely, like you said, we're thinking about his family and everybody that he touched along the way. Daniel, we know he's looking down on us, and I know he's loving that we did this. And then we're going to have these two races on Monday and Tuesday nights, and we miss them. So I'm looking forward to tonight and tomorrow.
Well, 34 drivers with us tonight for the Late Model Shootout Series, our premier division here at ITZR. And Bill, we had a couple of call-ups, 6 new drivers invited into tonight's series, and 3 of them are with us. Those are Bo Ledbetter is actually maybe driving a car that resembles Daniel Williamson's old late model stock cars. Blaze Brinkley with us, and Dave Corsel as well. Also called up Felix Gratton, Grayson Ward, and Mark Whitley. They have not joined us yet in the Late Model Shootout Series, but we're hoping to see them in the coming weeks.
Those are some really, really quality call-ups this season. Those guys have been having really, really good races and a really good season so far over in the Late Model Challenger Series on Tuesday nights. So they got the mid-season call-up here to the Late Model Shootout Series. That's how you get into the Late Model Shootout Series. You do a nice job racing over there, not just with speed, but with quality racing and good driving and good racecraft. And then you get your call-up to Monday night and race for the big dogs, and those 6 guys got that opportunity. So 3 of them taking us up on that. We'll see how those guys do throughout the night.
Bill, that's going to do it for our practice session here. 34 drivers going to go for 26 spots. Top 18 from qualifying going to move on. It looked like Alex Mccollum, your quick qualifier last week, was fastest in practice. 18.630 over Bladen Edwards was 18.646. But qualifying's underway. These guys are going to have 3 minutes to put in their 2 best laps. Top 18 going to lock straight into the feature.
So we will go as quickly as we possibly can through as many cars as we possibly can. They're going to be out here qualifying. They only get 3 minutes, so they are all out here at the same time. So Jonathan Sanford on the track in the 212 machine. Corey Bigley in the 28. There's Rick Rube in the 81 on the racetrack. Jason Warren in the 32.
Cars hitting the racetrack right now. Remember, if you're with us on Facebook right now, give us a like, give us a share. Let everybody know that there's some racing going on tonight. A lot of late model action coming at you. Jonathan Sanford fastest so far, and then I see he got bumped. Hugo Paquette now to the top of the board. 18.632 for Hugo Paquette.
Fast and furious. They just start putting times on the board. Daniel Pope goes P2. Peter Fisher P3. Brett Suggs now jumps to P2 in the 33 machine. Thomas Axum goes P3 in the 13.
Daniel Pope sitting 4th right now. Kaden Fisher up to the 5th spot. 18.723 for Kaden Fisher. Hugo Paquette still fastest overall. Dylan Bates up to an 8 to the 6th spot. 18.727 for the 91 car.
Aaron Abendroth going to go P10 in the 65. Hugo Paquette still your quick time. So if we got any more cars out on the racetracks, okay, Dave Corsall will go P16. That's one of your call-up drivers.
How about Peter Fisher sitting 7th right now in qualifying, 18.734. He was right there with Dylan Bates and Kaden. So Peter Fisher finding some speed here at Martinsville.
The Late Model Challenger Series points leader right now. Blaze Brinkley goes P25. Actually jumps up to P17 on his second lap, so not a bad effort from him. Elliot Carlson on the racetrack, the Joker in the 09. It's P24.
18.588 for Alex Mccollum goes quick time. Alex Mccollum, that we saw nobody run a 5 in the practice session. He pulls out a 5.88 in qualifying. New fast time so far.
Tom Dreiling out on the racetrack in the number 11. He's P30 right now. Tom's been struggling in qualifying this season, but we used to call him Mr. Hard Charger, and he has been having to do that in some B mains this season. Is just haven't had the qualifying efforts in that 11 car. He will stay P30 in his second lap.
Cole Cabrey, the third fastest, 18.645 for Cole Cabrey. His time is starting to run out, so we have a few drivers did not make laps. One of them, Bo Ledbetter, Ethan Johnson, Parker Traves, no qualifying effort for Parker, and that's going to put some really fast cars in our B main. Is we're going to have a 17-car B main coming up here.
Yeah, they get 26 laps. 26 is the number that Daniel Williamson used to run here on iRacing, so they're going to run 26 laps to see if they can get into tonight's A main event. Like you said, Jeff, a lot of race cars that are very, very fast, including Parker Traves, who won last week at Oxford. He's going to start in the very back of this B main.
Yeah, we talk about just how competitive this series is, and you can win one week and miss the show the next. Right now, Parker Traves, he's going to start dead last in this B main. That is not what he was looking for coming into this one. But on the pole for your B main, taking 8 cars onto the feature event, there'll be the 30 of Will Jervicki. On the outside of him, one of the guys making his debut, the late model shootout series, your points leader in the Challenger Series on Tuesday nights, the 11 of Blaze Brinkley.
Starting on the inside of row number 2, that is the 16 of Cade Brown. And on his outside, that is the number 18 of Donald Clark.
Starting 5th in the B main will be the 52 of Peyton Howell. On the outside of him will be the 9, that is Colby Bryant.
Starting in the 7th position in tonight's B main, that is the 42 of Super Zach Owen. And to the outside, starting 8th in the 72 car, that's Jeff Rivard.
Elliot Carlson will start 9th in the B main, and the 09 on the outside of him will be the 212, that is Jonathan Sanford.
Starting in the 11th position in the 81 machine, that is the ravishing one, Rick Rube. And to his outside, we talked about him in qualifying in the 11 car, that's Tom Dreiling.
Aaron Johnson will start 13th on the outside of him. Scheduled to start will be the 51 of Ethan Johnson, but he is not going to make the grid, so Ethan not going to attempt this B main.
Starting inside of the final row in that 60 car, he is the winner, the winner from last week at Oxford. That's Parker Traves, and to his outside in the Daniel Williamson number 26. Going to start shotgun on the field. That's Bo Ledbetter.
Fred Moreau not going to take part in this B main either, so we're going to have a 15-car B main. 8 cars moving on to your feature event. It'll be 12 minutes or 26 laps, whichever comes first. And top 8 again will move on to tonight's Daniel Williamson Memorial 126 here at Martinsville. Round number 7 for the Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series. Bill, I think we're going to see the pace car lights go out this time. Will Jervicki going to take us to the green.
So 15-car B main taking 8. 7 drivers will go home. 2 have already loaded onto the trailer. Tough break for those 2 gentlemen, but 7 other guys going to do it with them. So these guys going to battle to try to get into tonight's main event.
This is going to be a tricky one for some of those drivers trying to get to from the back to the front, like Parker Traves. This is a tough track to pass at. We saw last week at Oxford how difficult it was to make passes. Martinsville could be just as difficult. But right now, pace car is off the racetrack. Will Jervicki gets to set the pace for this B main. We are off and away. Top 8 going to move on after 26 laps.
Blaze Brinkley around the outside, going to try to sling it in there. We've got some trouble. Trouble in turn 1. Zach Onan and Colby Bryant, they're going to be stuck on the outside. Looks like Zach Onan might have backed into the wall. Colby Bryant with some damage on the front of that 9. Let's take a look and see what happened going into turn 1.
It looked like just maybe Colby just turned down a little early, caught the right rear quarter panel of the 42 of Zach Onan, and that just shot the 42 up the racetrack. So Super Zach in trouble early on in this one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Colby just turned down. I don't know if he thought he was clear. Got into the right rear of the 42. Ends up turning him into the wall. That's a tough break. I think Colby thought Zach was going to get in a little better. Zach had to check up for the car in front of him. Side note, Jeff, Colby Bryant running that number 9 machine. That is Daniel Williamson's favorite Kevin Harvick paint scheme. Daniel Williamson was a Kevin Harvick fan.
Yeah, I think I remember that car, the Reese's car. It was actually created by a sim racer. I think it was Kevin Keene that made that paint scheme. So kind of a sim racing throwback right there. Pace car is off the racetrack. We're going to go back to green single file this time. They did not complete a lap.
go. Will Dravicki on the loud pedal, going to come back to the green flag. Blaze Brinkley on his bumper. Cade Brown, a little bit of a gap to him, and a little bit more of a gap to Donald Clark as they enter turn 1.
Elliot Carlson under Jeff Rivard. That is a battle for the 6th position as Rivard got up the racetrack into turn 1. Opened up the door for Carlson. And if Rivard can't find his way back to the bottom, he might be in trouble because here comes Jonathan Sanford now. He's going to fill that gap on the inside.
Here comes Sanford to the inside, going to look underneath Jeff Rivard going into turn 1. They'll battle for that spot right behind them. That's Rick Rubin, the 9. Rivard in danger of being under fire for that transfer position as he is sitting in the final transfer spot right now in 8th.
Peyton now is snuck by Donald Clark, taking over the 5th spot, or actually make that the 4th position now for Peyton Howell. Donald Clark back to the 5th spot. Looks like Jeff Rivard going to slot in behind the 2-1-2 of Jonathan Sanford, so he's in the 8th and final transfer spot. Here comes Rick Rube trying to get that final transfer from Rivard.
Boy, I don't know, Jeff, if you watched that, but that was the definition of closing the doors. Rivard's going to get in the back of Sanford. Now we're going to go 3 wide down the front straightaway. Looked like Rivard got in the back of Sanford in turns 3 and 4. Now Sanford going to be up the racetrack as Rube might have gotten to the left rear. Exciting action for the final transfer position as Rube and Sanford going to be side by side for that spot.
And don't look now, here comes Parker Traves up the inside of Tom Dreiling. Traves already on the move, taking over the 10th spot. He's looking for 9th here. If Sanford can't get to the bottom, Sanford does close the door. Going to come across the nose of the 60 and hold on to 9th for the time being.
Guys giving no quarter early on in this B-main event as they are closing the door quickly on the driver behind them going into turn number 1. You've seen it a couple times already, and now Parker Traves might have given Sanford a little bit of a shot, or maybe Sanford got the curb as he was a little bit sideways, but now Traves going to pressure Sanford for that transfer position.
Zach Onen and the 26 get together. That's Bo Ledbetter up the racetrack. He is in trouble now. He's going to lose another spot to Colby Bryant. The 26 car struggling right now. He's stuck on the outside.
So Ledbetter on the outside. He's looking to get into this A main event as he is driving that number 26. That is a tribute to Daniel Williamson himself. That is his final paint scheme as he ran it on iRacing. So Ledbetter needs help to get into this A main event.
Will Dravicki still leads. He's got a mirror full of Blaze Brinkley. Brinkley in his first start in the late model shootout series, moving up one of those 6 call-ups from our Tuesday night development series into the big Monday night series. He is trying to get a B-main win, and he's starting to put the bumper to Will Dravicki in the center of the corner. He's starting to show he's got a little bit more speed here after about 10 laps. And the caution's going to wave. Trouble for the 21 of Aaron Johnson around in turn 3.
You see Zach Onen is in the pits as well. Something happened to the 42 car again. So he might have been caught in something. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, looks like he got into the outside wall. Let's see how that happened to him. Oh boy. We'll get you back here live. We're actually get back to the replay. Check very quickly. It looks like Onen had a problem, Jeff.
Yeah, he was racing with Colby Bryant, got off the corner a little too hard, I think, got up the racetrack, caught the wall. That car basically came to a stop as he rode up the wall, and Aaron Johnson tried to dive underneath him, and as he did that, he ended up going into turn 3 and just kind of self-spinning that car as well. So just trouble there for some guys as they get caught up in that mess.
Yeah, and then Onen just decided to take it down pit road, call it a night, the 42 car. Not the night he was looking for. He will be done for the evening. It's going to be one of the cars that does not transfer in tonight's A main event. So they will double up quickly and go back green flag racing this time by.
So looking at the running order now, that is going to move Jeff Rivard up into the 7th spot. Rick Rube will be 8th on this restart in that final transfer position. But unfortunately for Rube, he's going to have Parker Traves behind him on the inside line. So he's going to need to find a gap to get in line as quickly as possible. Will Dravicki taking his green flag racing here on lap 10 of 26 in this B main. And look at the run that Blaze Brinkley got down the front straightaway. Got a shove from the 52, and that caution is going to wave.
Wow, what exactly happened there? That was craziness going down the front straightaway. It was Dravicki did not get a run. Let's try to figure out what happened. Had to have been behind these guys.
Yeah, and it started with Donald Clark and Rick Rube. And Clark and Rube got together, got into the inside wall. They collected a whole bunch of cars behind them.
Oh, Rick, wow, that just looked like two guys got way too close to each other. I can't even figure out what happened there. You're seeing it right here on the replay. Rick just doesn't quite get all the way up to the racetrack. I think Donald just shading up a tiny bit, but Rick doesn't go to the wall. It looks like it kind of maybe wiggled on him, maybe a little bit of tire spin there, Jeff.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It kind of looks like just a racing deal. One guy going up, one guy going down, and neither of them left enough room for two cars to be there in the middle of the racetrack, and they get hooked together, and they end up clearing out a bunch of cars behind them.
So this one's gotten a bit rough. So we're working lap number 11. Caution laps do not count in our B mains. Try to give these guys as much green flag racing as we possibly can, and that's why you'll see us push the pace car forward. As it will now go to 1 to go. Lights will be out on the pace car, and these guys will go back to a single file restart.
Yeah, did not complete a lap here, so ITZR rules will go to a single file restart. And that was a big break there for Parker Traves, who is now up into the 8th position, I believe. So Jeff Rivard should be scored 7th. Parker Traves now into the 8th and final transfer spot. It'll be Tom Dreiling sitting 9th on the first car out if this thing was to end right now. But still plenty of time here in this B main. Is Blaze Brinkley going to be scored your leader? Going to have control of this restart over Will Dravicki.
So Brinkley did pass Dravicki. Here he is on the loud pedal. He's going to get a huge jump over Will Dravicki. Dravicki's struggling on these restarts for some reason. Huge gap between him and the leader. Behind him, Peyton Howell looked to make the move down into turn 1, thought better of it. He'll slot back into 3rd.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that might just be gear selection or where Will is starting in the gearbox. Perhaps maybe starting in 3rd gear to prevent wheel spin and just isn't getting away like the 52 and the 11 are at this point.
So Will continue to lead that second group around. Brinkley out front by quite a decent margin. He's got a 7/10 second lead 2 laps into this restart.
Here comes Traves underneath Jeff Rivard. He wants one more spot, make sure he is safely in this race. And he's going to take a spot from Jeff Rivard. Rivard going to slot back into the 8th and final transfer spot. Tom Dreiling now right behind the 72 of Rivard.
Rivard in your final transfer spot. Tom Dreiling wants it in that 11 car. We talked about it, Jeff, in qualifying. He doesn't qualify too well, and now he's going to get pressure. Here comes Aaron Johnson in the 21 as he's going to dive underneath Tom Dreiling. That's going to be for 9th.
Yeah, Rivard is going to like to see this. Let him battle behind him. Maybe he can build this gap and get away. As the 21, Aaron Johnson trying to get their contact with Dreiling. Dreiling's going to spin. Caution's going to wave.
Caution flag is out. You watched it live. I'm not sure what happened between those two drivers, and we'll take a look.
And I think Bill, looking at the replay quickly here, to me, it looks like Aaron Johnson's got the position. Tom, he tries to pinch the 21, keep him down the racetrack, and it just was not enough room on the inside. To me, it looked like the 21 was definitely there alongside of him.
We'll hit the Elite Performance Industries chopper cam, but Jeff, I think an initial replay, we did agree with that. Yeah, Johnson is down as far as you can possibly go. Tom was just trying to get down there and try to hold him down. And unfortunately, those two drivers made contact. Tom Dreiling goes around.
So, but we're getting to the end of this time limit here. This was scheduled to go 26 laps or 12 minutes. These guys are now over that 12-minute time limit, so we're going to keep an eye on the flagman here to see what they decide to do. And we're hearing there might be some trouble for Cade Brown, who's having some connection issues as well here. He's just trying to hold on, get himself into this A main, and he's the 4th place car, and it keeps blinking out.
Yeah, we see Cade Brown not able to stay in the server. Can't find him right now. He is in between all these cars. That might be a problem if he comes back.
So we're going to see the pace car dip down. Blaze Brinkley going to take us back to the green flag here.
Green flag is out down the front straightaway. Brinkley going to take the green flag. Barney waved it late there as we see a battle throughout the field. Everybody trying for transfer spots. Here comes Bo Ledbetter up into the 8th spot.
And he just cut across the nose of the 9 car, Colby Bryant, and he took the inside position from Jeff Rivard. Now Rivard's stuck on the outside. Here comes Aaron Johnson. He's trying to get underneath the 9 as well. He's going to send her off into turn 1, gets up the racetrack.
Got onto the curb. Wasn't able to hold it down. Colby Bryant able to make the move back around him, so they're going to battle for 9th. That is not going to be the transfer spot. Now the transfer spot's going to be under fire. Ledbetter and Jeff Rivard, they're trying to settle it. We got a white flag.
White flag is out for Blaze Brinkley. These guys in the back are fighting for a chance in the main event. See the 9 of Bryant sends it in there on the inside. He is right there now with Jeff Rivard. Rivard in the final transfer spot. He's going to have to go the outside of the 26, and Bryant's going to get in the back of him, turn around the 72, coming to the checkered flag, and Blaze Brinkley going to win our B main, move on to the feature event.
Well, Jeff, we have a rule here in the zone racing. Cannot turn a guy for the transfer spot in the final corner, regardless of what's happening on the racetrack. So let's make a sure call here. Well, it was a battle between Colby Bryant and Jeff Rivard heading down to the corner. We'll jump into the Elite Performance Industries chopper cam. That should give us the best view. Actually, it won't even work. That doesn't work. Okay, we're not going to see that view. So it just looks to me like Colby Bryant gets in the back of the 72 machine. We get a far chase cam here. Get the old drone out. Looks like he just gets in there, Jeff. That looks like that to me.
Yeah, just sent her off in there a little too hard there for the 9 of Colby Bryant. Ends up turning around Rivard, and because of that, it's going to end up moving Rick Rubin to the field.
So, and actually, since we had this happen last week, Jeff, we will also be adding Jeff Rivard to the field as well. Getting spun out of the transfer position does not mean you miss the race. So we'll actually start 27 as Rivard will get what will be considered a provisional. We got cars out for their 2-minute warm-up before this event. Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series 126 laps tonight in the Daniel Williamson Memorial 126. These guys all waiting patiently as that B main was rough and tumble. Everybody trying to qualify into this field, and because of what happened on the last lap, the final transfer will go to the 72 of Jeff Rivard. Standings currently in this series. Cole Cabry, your points leader, he is here tonight. So is Alex McCollum, Thomas Axton, Brett Suggs, and Hugo Paquette. That is your top 5. Daniel Pope sits 6th, Dylan Bates 7th, and then your battle for the final and last playoff spot. Parker Traves currently owns that position in 8th. You see the rest of the top 20. But we are about to go racing as we've got the field gridding on the front straightaway.
So, Bill, cars are starting to take to the grid for tonight's Daniel Williamson 126. We should mention tonight that this race is sponsored and put together by Shock I-12 Racing, and they've done a ton for ITZR, building our setups that these guys use every single week. And we've heard some good things about our setups the last month or two. Drivers really appreciating the setups that Shock I-12 has put together. Kent Hunley, the setup guru over there, has done a fantastic job. And again, thanks so much for putting this together and doing something for Daniel Williamson, his friends, and his family.
Yeah, we've been hearing great things about the setups, Jeff. We usually heard really good things, or at least good things. People that were happy, people that were willing to talk about it. But the last month or so, Shock I-12 Racing been completely in their wheelhouse and just in the zone and just in the zone. I said it, I didn't mean it, but but it's been a great last month of setups and people just really enjoying it. You'll see Bo Ledbetter, our tribute to Daniel Williamson, going to pull the 26 car to the front of the field, and he's going to lead us through these pace laps.
Bo Ledbetter driving that memorial car for Daniel Williamson. Again, thinking about him, thinking about his family, all of his friends here on iRacing. He left a ton of them behind. Really a fun guy to race with. we had the pleasure of racing with him for many, many years at ITZR. He was a really fast racer, super clean driver. Miss racing with him a ton.
He was one of the guys you showed up to beat every single week. Daniel was a quality driver here on the iRacing service, and every week you knew he was one of those ones you were going to have to beat for the win. So really miss him. Still can't believe that it's real that he's not here, but it is very cool to see his car on the racetrack as Bo driving it around forward pace lap.
Well, we should get into our main event lineup here for the Daniel Williamson 126. On the pole in the 31, it'll be Daniel Pope II. On the outside of him, the reigning defending late model shootout series champion, the 13 of Thomas Axum.
Starting in the third position in that 33 machine. Broke his top 5 streak last week at Oxford. Looking to get back to the top 5. That's the 33 of Brett Suggs. And to his outside, your points leader took all the paint off the car this week. That's Cole Cabry.
Starting fifth tonight, a former champion in this series at 33, Hugo Paquette. On the outside of him, the guy who almost won last week. He came up just a few laps short from the rear of the field, the one car. That is Alex Mccollum.
Starting in the 7th position in the 18, we call him the kid. That's Kaden Fisher. And to his outside in the 91 machine, winner at Nashville. That's Dylan Bates.
Starting in the 9th spot will be the 71 of Peter Fisher. On the outside of him will be the 67. That is Eric Tracy.
Starting in the 11th position in that 32 machine, that is Jason Ward. And to his outside in the 65, that's Aaron Abendroth.
Starting 13th in this race will be the 28 of Corey Bigley. On the outside of him, the Wet Willie in the 19, that's Willie Howells.
Starting in the 15th position in the 17 machine, that's AJ Rogers. And to his outside in a new number 16, we haven't seen this car before, that's Blaine Edwards.
Starting in the 17th spot will be the 112 of Del Mears. On the outside of him, making his first start in the late model shootout series, the 54 of Dave Corsel.
Also making his first start in the series, starting 19th in that 11 car, your currently model challenge series points leader, that's Blaze Brinkley. And to his outside in the 52, formerly model challenge series winner, that's Peyton Howe.
Will Dravicki will start 21st. On the outside of him will be the 09 of Elliott Carlson.
Starting 23rd in the 18 machine, a familiar driver, that is Donald Clark. And to his outside, last week's winner at Oxford, that's Parker Trades.
Bo Ledbetter in that 26 car will start 25th, and Rick Rube will tag the rear of the field along with Jeff Rivard. And Bill, that is it. We've got 27 cars ready to go, 126 laps here at Martinsville.
Well, Jeff, it's going to be exciting. We got one extra car because of what happened in the B main event, but we got an old wily veteran starting on the pole. He's top 6 in points this season. Who do you think's going to take this one tonight?
Well, if I got to pick, I like picking right from those front rows, but I'm going to go with that 33 car because he has been so fast this season. He hasn't found a win yet, but I'm going to go with Brett Suggs in the 33 tonight.
Let me stay on the bottom. I think he's due in that 33 machine. I'm going to take the other one, Jeff. I'm going to say Hugo Paquette.
Well, pace car is heading off the racetrack. Daniel Pope in the 31 going to take us to green. Thomas Axum on his door on the outside. Here we go. The Daniel Williamson Memorial 126 is underway for round number 7 of the Late Model Shootout Series presented by Elite Performance Industries. Axum to the second spot right behind Pope. Here comes Brett Suggs looking for second, and now Axum got a great run down the back straightaway. He's going to take a look underneath the 31.
Axum got a really good run off of turn number 2. He's underneath Daniel Pope, going to try to take this lead early. He'll do it. Pope able to get down in front of Brett Suggs. He'll slide into second place. Behind them, Hugo Paquette and Alex McCollum. They're going to be side by side. They're battling for a top 5.
Yeah, your defending champion wasted no time getting to the lead. Right now, Thomas Axum wants to be out front. He wants to set the pace on this 126 lapper, and he is doing it right now off to an early lead. Daniel Pope, Brett Suggs, Cole Cabry, your points leader, sitting 4th now.
A great start to this race. Great start to the main event here at Martinsville. Thomas Axum out front, Pope right on his bumper in his tire tracks. These guys all want to win this race. It means a lot to so many of these guys at Daniel Williamson Memorial. Everybody knew Daniel. Everybody was friends with Daniel. And all of these guys want to win the race just to say that they won it.
Well, something happened there on the start to Peyton Howell. He has fallen all the way to the rear of the field, a little damage, and he was running right around the top 10. I think about where Dylan Bates was on the racetrack. So I don't know if contact got him up the racetrack and sent to the rear of the field. But Peyton Howell off to a rough start. Going to have to climb his way back from about the 25th position right now.
Yeah, big damage on the left front of that 52 machine. So he probably will have to, if we do get a yellow, Jeff, we'll have to go in the pits and probably get some of that damage repaired. That is a lot of damage on that race car.
Yeah, and Peyton, he's shown a ton of speed the last few weeks with us. Had a great run going at Dover, got caught up in an incident, was doing well last week at Oxford, got turned around a couple times, and just has not been able to find the luck. Has been caught up in a lot of messes, not of his doing, and just unfortunately right now, Peyton, now the bad luck continues.
Down the back straightaway, we've got a bit of a breakaway as the top 5 cars, Axton, Pope, Suggs, Cambry, and Paquette, have kind of gotten away from the one machine. It's Alex McCollum as we see Dylan Bates making a move on Kaden Fisher. Kaden didn't get off the corner very well behind Mccollum. Slipped up the racetrack a little bit. Bates taking a peek, can't make it happen.
Yeah, Bates trying to make it work on the 18 of Kaden Fisher, was not able to complete that run through turn 1. Something about Martinsville, you can get to the bottom of somebody, but if they can carry the momentum through the top side of the racetrack, they can make it very difficult for you to get around, and you saw it there with Kaden Fisher. That top side can get some nice runs off the corner, especially if you're starting to get a little tight as the race goes on, the right front tire starts to burn up. It can become more and more difficult to make passes on the bottom.
Jeff, Daniel Pope is very racy up front. He is all over the bumper of the 13 car. He is giving Axum everything he can possibly handle. They're actually driving away a little bit from Brett Suggs at the moment. Suggs might be in a little bit of tire conservation mode, as I believe Mccollum probably is doing as well. But these guys, they're getting after it up front.
Yeah, and we saw tires really come into effect last week. A lot of drivers that got to the front early fell off hard late in the race, so we'll kind of keep an eye on it as well. Thomas Axum was one of those drivers at the end, was just struggling with tires last week, and right now he's out front, and Daniel Pope trying to push him, trying to pressure that 13 to go a little bit harder than maybe he wants to at this point.
Taking a look back at Alex McCollum leading the second train around. He is currently sitting P6. Whole bunch of cars lined up behind him.
For many of the people that have been with us throughout the last couple seasons, you'll notice Martinsville kind of hasn't been on the schedule for a year or two. And last time we ran here, season 6 of the Late Model Shootout series, we saw Cody Kelly get the win. So Cody not with us, so we're gonna have a new winner for Martinsville this week. Not with the series anymore, but Dylan Bates finished second to Cody Kelly. Dylan Bates currently running 8th right now on the racetrack.
He's in that long train of cars being pulled by engine number 1. There's a big choo-choo train. You know, knowing Alex, I wonder if he's actually in the car yelling "woo woo" as he's pulling all these guys around.
You know, it's interesting that you said that he was maybe doing some tire conservation, because that doesn't seem like an Alex McCollum thing to do. You don't see him save a lot, and now here comes Dylan Bates up the inside of the 18. Kaden Fisher up the racetrack. Can Bates make it work this time? No, can't get the run off the corner.
Wow, so the top side seems to be able to fight back, Jeff. I wonder... I mean, Shakai 12 Racing likes to throw some stuff at us. I wonder if we'll see some passes as Bates going to try to make the move once again into turn number 3. Cannot seem to get into the corner very well. It just seems like they push up a little, or maybe get a little bit loose on the bottom, and the top side able to drive back around.
Yeah, Fisher using that top side well to his advantage, and right now he's holding up the 91 of Dylan Bates. Bates not able to get around him.
Is he holding him up? Or is McCollum holding him up? I mean,
well,
come on.
You know, yeah, that could be the issue right there for the 18. He just can't find a way around Alex McCollum, and right now he's just getting pressured by the 91 that's saying, hey, it's time to go and find a way around them.
Maybe they're all just riding. It's very confusing. I don't know if I've seen this from this group of guys before.
Battle for third as Cambry tries to take a peek under Brett Suggs, and the 33 wasn't able to complete the pass. Now Suggs going to hold on to the 3rd spot for the time being. These guys have fallen about a 1.5 seconds off of Daniel Pope and Thomas Axum. Axum's still your race leader, and Suggs just not able to keep pace, or doesn't want to keep pace just yet with these two.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have all been such quality. Well, I guess they've all been quality drivers every single week. That it's always. I mean, we've had how many races where we've actually had to have tire conservation, Jeff? We had it last week in Oxford. At Dover, there was tire conservation issues. I mean, you only get one set of tires to start these races, and 126 laps here at Martinsville. I know we've talked to some of these guys. They don't say the tires fall off too bad in these super late models, but when you're going this fast for this long in these race cars, I know we've seen it a couple weeks, so it might be happening. You know, some of these guys might be worried about it happening again.
Barker Traves just moved up into the 20th position. AJ Rogers got caught on the outside. He's going to fall all the way behind Peyton Howell, so send him back to the 24th spot. As again, another situation, you get out of line, you can end up just getting trained to the rear of the field, and that's what happened to AJ Rogers right there.
Yeah, AJ all the way to the back of that group. You see Rick Rube behind them. He's going to be following behind these guys, and Dave Corsall as well. Corsall with some damage on the front of that 54 car. So maybe he was in that original incident, Jeff, when we talked about Peyton Howell having damage in the left front. That might be because of Corsall. It's the only other car. I think maybe Rivard has a little bit as well. Actually, nope. Rivard looks clean. So I think we figured it out, Jeff. I think Peyton Howell and Corsall got together early.
Trage got around Del Mears. Mears up the racetrack. That's going to allow the 26 of Bo Ledbetter to get by as well. So slot Del Mears back into the 20th spot. And Parker Trage on the move from the B main, bringing Bo Ledbetter with him. We just crossed the line to complete lap 25. So 25 laps in. Still green flag racing from the drop of this one. Thomas Axum, your race leader. Daniel Pope in second. They've got a huge gap back to Brett Suggs and Cole Cavery and Hugo Paquette in the 33. Those top three are just kind of running by themselves. And then another big gap back to Alex McCollum, who's currently running in the 6th spot.
And that pressure has kind of stopped. We saw Dylan Bates running all over the back of Kaden Fisher for a while.
And Peyton Howell is spinning. AJ Rogers collected the 17 and the 52 to get together, and the 17 is buried into the barrels off turn 2.
Well, that looks violent. See if we can get a replay of that one. I know AJ Rogers had fallen all the way to the back of the field. Take a look and see what happened to those drivers as they go down through turns 1 and 2. Oh! I'm not really sure what happened there. That's really odd.
It looked like the 52 tried to roll the center and start to come down the racetrack, and he got into the back of the 112. I don't think Dell got a great run through the center of the corner. It surprised Peyton. Peyton started to come down the racetrack, thought he was clear, and by the time he got down the racetrack, AJ was already there. They got together, and AJ Rogers took a heck of a hit going into turn 2.
Yeah, Peyton was definitely up the rate. Oh yeah. I think it's just he just gets into Dell. I don't think Peyton really did anything other than Dell just really. I mean, boy, that is just an odd chain reaction.
So caution waves, and as one of our drivers pointed out, we did a 26 lap run there to start this race, and first caution.
I mean, that's that might be a little bit on the creepy side, Jeff. I mean, really cool, maybe? Does that mean he's watching? I think so.
Probably just having a little fun with us there as he set up that caution there. Lap 26 caution. Thomas Axum still your leader. Daniel Pope second. Brett Suggs third. Cole Cavery, Hugo Paquette, Alex McCollum, Caden Fisher, Dylan Bates, Eric Tracy, Peter Fisher, your top 10 cars as they run right now. Aaron Amadross sitting 11th. Jason Warren 12th. Willie Howells 13th, Corey Bigley 14th, Bladen Edwards currently running in that 15th spot. Looks like we probably officially lost AJ Rogers. Heavy damage to the 17. He's sitting on pit road. I think that's probably going to be the end of the night for AJ. Peyton Howell continues on. Still on the lead lap, so 26 cars still on our lead lap tonight.
Yeah, that one was just a very, very odd set of circumstances there. Unfortunate for AJ Rogers that he ended up in the barrels, but it started with Donald Clark up the track a little bit. That caused Del Mears to kind of back up, which also caused Peyton Howell to kind of back up, and then AJ got through the corner the best, gets into the back of Peyton Howell, and yeah, just kind of an odd accordion effect here at Martinsville as they were all kind of just checking up for each other.
Yeah, and I mentioned it. Peyton he's had some miserable luck the last couple of weeks and keeps finding himself caught up in these incidents. And again, right there, got shuffled to the back early on, got some damage, and it just ends up in a bad spot at the wrong time. And unfortunately gets collected on that one as well. So trouble there for Peyton Howell. He's going to continue on right now, currently running 26. Plenty of time still to get to the front here. Just a just under 100 laps to go.
Well, you know how this thing works, Jeff. We pack them all back together. They were starting to string out away from each other, so the guys that were falling back a little bit feel like they have better tires than the guys up front. You know they do. So I wonder if they'll try to turn the wick up a little bit as we get a restart here.
So Thomas Axum going to bring him back to the green flag for the first restart of this race here on lap 32. Daniel Pope on the outside, Brett Suggs, Cole Cabrey in that second row. We're green flag racing once again.
2 by 2, they head down the front straightaway. Daniel Pope going to hang on the outside. He's going to look to get to the bottom. Can't make the run around the top side. But is he going to get the run off the top side? He does. He'll clear Brett Suggs down the back straightaway.
Suggs back into the third. Cole Cabrey gets in line into fourth. Alex Mccollum got stuck on the outside right now. Here comes Hugo Paquette.
Hugo Paquette to the inside of the 91 of Dylan Bates. Bates was on the outside making moves. Here comes Kaden Fisher. Kaden Fisher was ahead of Dylan Bates before that yellow came out. By the way, Jeff, during that sequence around turns 1 and 2, Aaron Abendroth had some issues. He ended up on the inside of turn 2, spun that car around, had to get going again as Kaden Fisher and Dylan Bates making contact into turn 1. Aaron Abendroth's going to have damage on the front of that 65, and he's lost contact with the pack.
Aaron Abendroth going to need a caution now to get this field stack back up. He is continuing underway in the 26th position. Dylan Bates just got passed by Kaden Fisher. You saw that one as the 18 moves by the 91. Eric Tracy currently running 9th behind them in the 67 car. And then it's a gap back to the 10th place runner, Willie Howe. So I think that's about where Aaron Abendroth was on the racetrack. That really separated the top 10 from the rest of the field. As something happened there right around the middle of the field.
Yeah, everybody kind of strung out in the middle of the field here. Something went on in the middle, but for some reason, I think possibly you can see the tire tracks coming off of turn 2. Abendroth ended up almost going on in that backstretch pit lane area. He was back there behind the wall, so I think maybe when he got spun, he cleared everyone. There was no yellow.
Yeah, we see that a lot if the car makes it to the apron, will not trigger the caution flag, and I think that's probably what happened for Aaron Abendroth. This field is still clean and green right now on lap 38. Thomas Axum, your leader, Daniel Pope, trying to keep up with Axum, but it looks like Axum's starting to stretch that lead just slightly, about 0.3 of a second last time by, and they've got about 0.4 of a second back to Brett Suggs.
We've thrown the graphic up on the board for you to show you your movers and shakers tonight, guys that are coming forward. Right now, Parker Traves plus 11 positions as he is currently running in the 13th spot from his 24th starting position. And Jeff Rivard also making moves as he started way back in the field. It shows plus 11, but that would have been his spot where he started from the B main. Really, he's not quite as far forward and moving as far forward as Parker Traves is.
Those guys going for that $5 bonus for the SD Ireland Company's Hard Charger Award tonight. Every single week, $5 on the line for Hard Charger, $5 on the line for an International Short Track Association Quick Time Award. So a lot of money for season championships, a lot of money for bonus awards. Cole Cabrey sideways off turn 4. That's going to open up the door for Alex Mccollum, take a peek on the outside. And Alex going to jump to the outside, try to get a run on the 54 coming off turn 2.
He thinks better of it in that number 1 machine. He was going to look to the outside, didn't do it. Hugo Paquette would have been to the inside, so he backed off. Here comes another battle. These guys have been battling all night long. Dylan Bates versus Kaden Fisher. They're going to be side by side once again. This time Bates going to be to the inside, trying to take away that 7th spot.
Yeah, these two not able to settle this battle, and the 91 Dylan Bates finally has a position on Kaden Fisher, and you see that run that Fisher got down the back straightaway, pulls right alongside. Now contact again going into turn 3. They're running these two really tight.
Eric Tracy backs off a little bit in the 67. Kaden Fisher didn't show any desire to give that position away as well. So Eric's going to let him slot back in line. Now Dylan Bates moved him up to 7th. See if they've settled this one or if Kaden can get a run back around, try to get around that 91 once again.
Good battle on the racetrack going on between Parker Traves and Peter Fisher in the 71. And Peter putting the pressure on the 32 with Jason Warren as well. So a couple drivers trying to move forward. Peter was in the top 10 at one point on the restart. He lost some spots. I think he had an outside starting position. Kind of fell back behind Willie Howes and Jason Warren. Now he's trying to get back around them and try to get back in this top 10.
You can see Peter peek to the inside heading into turn number 3 that time. Thought better of the move. But man, these guys are tight to each other nose to tail. Now Peter going to look again down the back straightaway to the inside of Jason Warren. This time going to try to attempt to move. They're going to be side by side and make contact. Warren sideways. He'll save it. We'll stay green.
And this is just a cluster coming down the front straightaway. Rick Rube and Will Dravicki get hooked together. The trouble now, Dravicki's going to spin. Caution is going to come out. And that just set up a big incident there on the front straightaway. This guy's just trying to avoid and try to pick off as many spots as they could get.
Well, let's see what happens. As you saw a bunch of guys, Parker Traves having to make massive maneuvers to try to get around this wreck. We'll pick it up and see what happened to Dravicki here. He's the one that ends up backwards. But this started up there with Peter Fisher and Jason Warren. They go 4 wide coming off the corner. And Dravicki and Rube, nothing they could do. Bo Ledbetter got into that as well. Rivard's there. Donald Clark in the 18. He looks like he got a piece of Dravicki, but boy, it's hard to tell what happened after everybody got together there, Jeff. They all just stacked up. Traves went to the outside. Bigley, Brinkley, they all go to the outside. And then Dravicki and Rube just kind of just shove it in there.
Yeah, and there was a situation there. They were 4 wide. Rick was on the inside. Dravicki went underneath him. They were 4 wide coming off the corner, and then the 30 and the 81 just kind of got hooked together. That drove Rick and Will up the racetrack. Just couldn't seem to get off of each other.
Yeah, Dravicki got into the corner. He actually, because they're all checking up, he gets into the back of Rube, and then he and Rube just kind of hook. And then Ledbetter gets a shot, and Rivard just, wow. Jeff just kind of drives in there, and well, he kind of hit everything he possibly could. That's not a good idea what Jeff Rivard just did right there. That does not make me smile.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to lift a little bit, let them sort themselves out, and not risk tearing your car up just to get through the wreck. And that's a situation there. Jeff probably did more damage to himself than he gained there by trying to drive right through that one.
Yeah, he tried the old Days of Thunder, you can drive through it, Cole. And he got the first incident where he put Will Dravicki in. Well, I guess that's being dramatic, but it was not clear. In the first incident, Days of Thunder, it was not clear here. In this incident, it was not clear. He ends up getting to the left rear of Dravicki and spinning him out, which also collected Clark, who was kind of minding his business on the bottom.
So that's going to be our second caution here on lap 51 of this 126 lapper. Thomas Axum still out front. Daniel Pope, Brett Suggs, Cole Cabrey, Alex McCollum, Hugo Paquette, Dylan Bates, Caden Fisher, Eric Tracy, Willie Howes, your top 10. And that incident started right around that 10th or 11th spot. Parker Traves going to hold on to 11th. Peter Fisher 12th. Blaze Brinkley 13th. Jason Warren 14th. Corey Bigley 15th. Bladen Edwards 16th. Bo Ledbetter 17th. Rick Rube 18th. Jeff Rivard 19th. And Donald Clark 20th as they currently run.
We're seeing some Martinsville race cars out there, Jeff.
Yeah, the contact's starting to add up for those guys in the middle of the field for sure. And you can start to see a lot of crinkled fenders and scrapes along the sides of the cars. These guys are starting to use up what's left of the bodies.
Yeah, we've only had 2 cautions. And there's a lot of beat race cars from about 15th on back.
So pace car lights are out. Thomas Axum going to control this restart. Trying to move the 31 to Daniel Pope up the racetrack. Pope trying not to let him get too high up the racetrack. We are back green flag racing. Axum got a great restart. Here comes Brett Suggs looking for second.
I saw Rick Rube struggle down the front straightaway. Car's going to get into him. Looks like he spun the tires on the restart. So Rube going to slide back, fall all the way back to 23rd spot. We'll jump back to the front as Brett Suggs is under Daniel Pope for second. He's going to pull Alex McCollum with him in the one machine.
So Suggs up to second, McCollum to third. Now Pope gets slotted into line in the 4th spot in front of Cole Cabrey.
Dylan Bates up to 6th in the 91. He just passed his teammate Hugo Paquette. Behind them, Caden Fisher, he and Eric Tracy are side by side. We've seen Caden on the outside a lot. He seems to be able to defend, and he does once again. He'll clear Eric Tracy down the front straightaway.
Parker Traves now back into that 10th spot. Blaze Brinkley up to 11th. Willie Howes kind of lost some spots on that restart. He's fallen back to 12th now. Peter Fisher putting the pressure on the 19 for the 10th spot.
Parker Traves up 14 spots in that 60 car. He is up to the 10th position, right behind them. Peter Fisher, he's looking to get around Willie Howes, that isn't able to make the move.
Caution is out. Jason Warren around in the middle of the 1 and 2. And that is going to bring us a yellow on lap 56, our third one of the race.
Taking a look to see what happened to Jason here. Looks like he has contact with the 72 machine. Try to figure out where they were located. Well, that is a late move by Jeff Rivard.
Yeah, and I think Rivard is trying to get there before the 32 can get down the racetrack. Unfortunately for him, he missed the bottom by about half a car and ended up way up the racetrack into the 32. Just trying a little too hard to get there and fill that hole before the 32 could get in line.
You saw the 72 up the racetrack just a little bit. I mean, if you're diving in underneath somebody, you got to make sure you're clearing, right? I mean, he kind of just drives it straight when everybody else is turning.
Yeah, just kind of missed the bottom. He drove it in so hard. He got up the racetrack, and Jason gave him the bottom, and it just wasn't able to slow that 72 down in time.
We'll take a look once again at your top movers tonight. Parker Traves, stranglehold right now on that SD Ireland Company's Hard Charger Award. Up 14 positions up to that 10th spot. That's last week's winner in that 60 car, so he's having didn't have the qualifying effort, had to come through the B main, started the back of the B main, transferred in the 60 car, started 24th up to 10th. I don't think he's done yet, Jeff. I think Parker still has some more in him.
Yeah, that 60 car is on rails. He is moving through the field right now. He was very fast in practice. One of those guys that immediately went to the top of the board early on in practice. Kind of fell towards the late when people started doing qualifying runs, but I was watching him early on, and he was very fast to race trim. Watch out for Parker Traves. He's going to get up there. I don't know if he's going to have time to make it all the way up to the leaders, but perhaps a guy who's going to challenge for a top 5 before this is over.
Parker is sitting in the points, so he's sitting in that final spot, that final playoff spot in 8th. So he definitely needs another good run under his belt to try to secure that playoff position.
Cole Cavery, your points leader in the 54. Alex Mccollum currently sitting second in points. He's third on the racetrack right now. Thomas Axum, third in points, your defending champion. He's currently leading this race. Brett Suggs, the guy sitting fourth, he's sitting second. So all your points leaders having great runs right now. Daniel Pope, 6 in points. He's sitting in the 4th spot. Hugo Baquette, 5th in points. He's currently running 7th on the racetrack. So all of your points runners are currently up there in the top 10. If you have a problem now, it could be a big hurt for you in the point standings because all your competitors are going to have good runs, it looks like, so far. Bill Pacecar lights are out. We're going back to green flag racing. Thomas Axum, Brett Suggs take him green. And this time Axum gets clear of Suggs. Suggs going to slot into second. Pope on the outside, still trying to find a hole as Alex Mccollum is going to slot by, take back 3rd spot. Here comes Pope to the inside.
Pope finds a gap down on the bottom, able to get in front of Cole Cavery. Here comes Dylan Bates on the outside of the 91 machine. That's unheard of. Usually can't do it on the outside here at Martinsville, but he gets a good run around the top. So he's going to put pressure all over Daniel Pope. Pope might have even blocked him a little bit there as Cavery struggling on the bottom, Jeff.
Yeah, Cavery just did not get off very well on that restart. And now he's kind of finding himself stuck on the bottom, which is unusual, but just not able to get off the corner with that 54. Kaden Fisher trying to drive around him. We talked about it. Maybe as the tires start to burn up, maybe that outside would become a little bit more competitive, and I think we're seeing it right now. Kaden Fisher trying to drive around your points leader.
Wow, big battle here as these guys are banging wheels. They're all the way up. Wow, that was tight racing down there through 3 and 4. We go yellow.
Caution.
Trying to see who this might be. Maybe Jason Warren once again in the 32 cars. He's got big damage on the left front of that machine.
Yeah, multiple cars collected. It started with Bladen Edwards going into turn 1. And I think he got some contact going down the front straightaway. He got hooked together with Dave Corsel and then just could not gather that car up going into turn one, spins it out, collects Peyton Howell. Poor Peyton Howell just in the wrong place at the wrong time once again in that 52.
Oh. There's Bladen up top on the racetrack. Let's take a look and see. I think we see Bladen Edwards actually moves down the track into Corsol's right front tire. And that gets Bladen sideways, and he ends up sliding it back into traffic and collects. Let's count them. You can see, you said Peyton Howell was there. Rick Rube is backwards. Donald Clark caught in it. Jason Warren, Will Dravicki. Del Mears had to avoid. Elliot Carlson, I think, caught a little bit of Peyton Howell when he was flipping through the air. So a lot of cars caught in that accident, but it looks like it started with Bladen Edwards shading off the wall into the car beneath him.
Yeah, Bladen got hooked together with Dave Corsall. That set that one off, and we have officially lost Bladen Edwards and Peyton Howell from this race. Jeff Rivard also out of this one. So 23 cars left here of the 27 that started.
Jeff, I hate to say I told you so, but I had a feeling when we got those cautions, the cautions would breed cautions with these guys. They saw it was starting to string out. That immediately ramps up the urgency. When you get to a car, you got to try to go by them, and that just carries over when now you're in caution situations where the cars are everywhere, and now everybody's just trying to get by each other.
Well, especially as we're seeing, it seems like the lines are equaling out, so it's getting more difficult to pass because guys can challenge back on the outside, and it's just going to make the guys more aggressive on these restarts, knowing they need to get clear and pick up as many spots as they can. And as you say, the cautions breed cautions, and that's the situation we're in right now. And when we got through this thing about 50 laps in with only 2 cautions and now a couple quick ones here.
Well, let's see, Jeff. We started to see some cars really, really take advantage of that outside line where there were cars actually driving around cars. You saw Dylan Bates was putting pressure on. I think he actually drove around Cole Cabry on the outside. And then Kaden Fisher was up there as well, trying to do the same thing. So I think there's a situation where we might be seeing that the outside line has really kind of worked its way in. And it might just be what Shot Guy 12 Racing got with this setup, trying to make the lines pretty equal. And that the top side able to carry momentum now that they've burned up the bottom just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's something we don't see a lot with iRacing. You know, they do a lot of things well. Multiple lines seems to be a struggle that they just kind of had the last couple seasons with the tire model. So it's kind of fun to see. You don't really see it very often. It's usually very single file, one groove racing. And tonight we're actually getting treated to something a little special, I think.
We'll take it, right? Pace car leaving the racetrack. Thomas Axum going to bring us back to the green flag.
Axum and Suggs on that front row for this lap 69 restart. Axum gets off and away. Suggs got a great restart. He's going to have a gap in front of Mccollum to pull in line. He does. And now it's a battle for third with Daniel Pope on the outside of the one car. It looked like Mccollum caught the curb coming off turn 2. That's going to slow his momentum a ton.
Mccollum catches the curb. Here comes Kaden Fisher on the outside. Wow, the 18 shot out of a cannon. Daniel Pope was able to clear Mccollum. Here comes Kaden Fisher around the outside. Is he going to be able to do the same?
Yeah, Kaden Fisher has found something on the top that works for him, and he is moving forward on the outside line. He just passed Alex McCollum around the top side here at Martinsville.
I'll have to take a picture of that one and put it in his pocket. People don't usually pass Alex McCollum at all, and he just did it the hard way around this Martinsville Speedway.
Parker Traves and Hugo Paquette battling side by side. This is the first battle on the racetrack right now for the 8th position. Is Hugo Paquette got the wall. Now he's going to lose a spot to Blaze Brinkley possibly in the 11.
Brinkley on the bottom, Hugo up top. We just talked about the top side working for Kaden Fisher. It's clearly not working for Hugo Paquette. Hugo trying to find a way down. Here comes Bo Ledbetter in the number 26. He's in that Daniel Williamson machine. He's moving forward right now. He came out of the B main as well.
Blaze Brinkley, he just passed a former champion of this series. So you want to know how good the guys on Tuesday night are? Guy making his first start, gets his call up. He's running the top 10, just past a former champion of this series.
Yeah, the Tuesday night series, no slouches there. That series has a ton of good racers as well. Blaze Brinkley making it happen in that 11 machine as he is all the way up to the top 10, showing that he belongs with these guys. He is your points leader in that series, so he is very good as we've got some contact back in the back. As Del Mears and Willie Howells were banging doors down the front straightaway. They keep it straight and they'll keep going.
That was a big moment there between the 12 and the 112 and the 19. It kind of scared Donald Clark. Clark had to take evasive action there. Now they make contact again. I don't think Dell was too happy with Willie Howes. He's going to get around the 19, and now I think the 19's probably going to be looking for that 112 again.
Wow, that was definitely somebody showing some displeasure as Del Mears got into the left rear of Willie Howes. He gets out and gets away. Aaron Abendroth rallying in that 65 machine. We talked about how he had some issues just a little while ago in that 65 car. Now he's moving forward. We've got some trouble. That looked like that was Jason Warren backwards in the 32 machine. We go yellow.
Yeah, trouble for Warren. This is the second time he's been turned around tonight, and looks like he got together with Elliot Carlson, and to me, it looked like Carlson might have been there. We're going to have to take a look at the replay, but two guys going for the same spot in the middle of the corner there.
See if we can get a good look at this one on your replay as we head down the back straightaway. Carlson definitely there on the bottom, and not clear. It looked like Warren checked up because of what was going on in front of him. Carlson stuck his nose in there, was about to his left rear tire. Kind of thought better of it, Jeff. It looked like Carlson was like, maybe I shouldn't, and then Jason just at the last minute cuts down in front of him.
Yeah, and I think to Elliot's credit, it looked like he might have tapped the brakes and tried to slow that car up, give the 32 room to get down, and unfortunately when he did it also drove the front end of his car up the racetrack. So just two cars getting together. They were going for the same spot on the racetrack at the exact same time, and that's what ends up happening. Going back to that situation there with the 112 and Willie Howes.
Do we really want to revisit that? I mean, I don't know. I think we probably want to forget that happened because they're going to be starting nose to tail on this restart.
Yeah, those are going to be two guys that are going to be looking for each other right now on the racetrack. Not happy with one another. Dell, not one of those guys that usually gets himself into those kind of messes, but we had a conversation with him a few weeks ago about he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I don't think we meant that way.
We also talked to Dell before the race. He had been having some equipment issues, sim racing equipment, of course, and he had a very old wheel that he was using, and he's replaced that and his pedals with some high-quality equipment. So we talked to him earlier tonight. He said he was still getting used to what he was driving now. It's so much different. He's never driven with force feedback, Jeff.
Yeah, it's a whole new ballgame moving up from a about 20-year-old steering wheel up to some new direct drive stuff, so it's going to take a while to get used to it, but good for him for getting some new equipment. Peter Fisher had some problems. I'm not sure what happened in the 71, but he is now on pit road, lost a lap. Will Dravicki got the lucky dog that time. He'll be back on the lap in the 22nd spot, and I think we might have lost Peter Fisher from this race.
Yeah, something happened to the 71 machine, the SD Ireland Company's number 71. He's no longer in or on the racetrack. Wow, we have an odd thing going on up front as we've got drivers all over the racetrack. I don't know what's happening here. Are they trying to cool off tires, Jeff? Is that what they're doing down the bottom of the racetrack?
Yeah, I think that's what they do. They try to drive somewhere where the rubber isn't built up, try to cool the tires down. You're going to see Alex McCollum doing that down the back straightaway. Cole Cavery going to follow him. It's debatable whether it works or not. Some guys have theories about it. You'll see that the dirt stuff guys under caution will drive really far down the racetrack where there's no rubber, thinking it'll cool the tires down. I don't know if it works, to be honest with you, but once one guy does it and he wins a lot, then they'll all start doing it.
Right. That's how you show people that it works, is you go out there and win. With Cole Cavery down there, taking it to an extreme in the 54 machine, and now Alex McCollum going to do the same thing.
Yeah, Alex.
Now he's just weaving around. Alex just having fun, thinking about ice cream and tacos. But you had Kaden Fisher in the 18. He was way up the racetrack doing the same thing, and he's up top. But out front, Thomas Axum. Nothing going on with him. He's just kind of driving around, and he's going to try to win this thing.
Yeah, 82 laps right now for Thomas Axum out front of this one. Daniel Pope in that third spot. We're going to see if Pope gets a better restart this time. 33 of Brett Suggs got clear of Alex McCollum last time on the restart when McCollum started third. Here we go. Green flag is out, and I think Suggs got another great restart. He's going to have a gap to fall back into second.
Here comes Suggs, and he's going to try to dive in front of Daniel Pope. Pope started to think about cutting him a break, doesn't do so. He's going to try to make the move down on the bottom. Here comes the 31 machine, and here comes Kaden Fisher. We're going to call him the high side hustler tonight, Jeff, as he is on the outside of Alex McCollum once again, trying to make a move, trying to move forward. Now McCollum, we saw him trying to cool off those tires. Who's going to win that battle between those two drivers?
Yeah, Suggs running the outside now. Wasn't able to get in line, and this is going to be what Thomas Axum wants to see in his mirror. If he can see these two guys battle behind him, that's going to let him drive away. Pope sideways off the corner. He's going to collect Alex McCollum. They both go around, and the caution is going to wave.
We were watching. Del Mears had an issue, Jeff. I don't know if it was contact with Willie Howe. Ooh, Corey Bigley coming around hot, and he gets it woed up. But Del Mears had an issue, Jeff. I'm not sure what happened, but we need to take a look and see what happened at Daniel Pope, as we were not watching that live.
Well, I can tell you, Willie Howells got into the left rear quarter panel of Del Mears.
Got it.
And then, yeah, coming off turn 4, Pope, he just caught that,
caught the
big
apron.
curb. Yeah.
Collects the one car. The apron claims a victim. That is the 31 machine of Daniel Pope. See him there. Watch the car hop. You can see his hands inside the car. Mccollum nowhere to go in the one machine. We are going to jump and see if we can find what happened to Del Mears. There was some action prior to that yellow.
Yeah, and those are two guys that have been going at it for the
Many
last
laps.
the last 15, 20 laps, and they have not been happy with each other. And, it looked like Willie maybe got into the corner, locked up the brakes, and slid up, or maybe he just made it look really good.
We got a lot of things going on, Jeff. There was something that happened between Aaron Abendroth and Del Mears as they entered turn 3. Del to the outside. Abendroth just goes up and doors him. And that sends Del way up the racetrack. And then in the next corner, Willie weaves at the 112 and then just turns him sideways. That did not cause the yellow. Del able to save it, but then spins out on his own, able to get going once again, and then the yellow came out afterwards for the Daniel Pope incident.
Yeah, so Del Mears on pit road. He's going to try to get some damage repaired, stay on the lead lap. I believe we still got 22 cars on the lead lap. Peter Fisher, the first car out of this race, in 23rd right now. Corey Bigley currently in that 22nd position. He is going to come back down pit road as well. Heavy damage to the 28. That car has been through a war tonight.
So, Jeff, we'll quickly look at last week's trademark performances. We just saw Alex Mccollum have his issues in the number 1 machine. He was last week's International Short Track Racing Association Quick Time Award winner. Parker Traves, your race winner on that trademark performances list. Hugo Paquette had a great run along with your hard charger from last week. Brent Suggs ran all the way up into the 6th spot from his 22nd starting position. Brent Suggs running second place again tonight, or second place tonight, looking for a win. First win of the season for Suggs. I don't think he's got one yet, Jeff.
No, he hasn't, but he's been so consistent. He's hasn't finished outside the top 10. He only has one finish outside the top 5. He has just been there every single week and been real solid so far. And right now, Bill, we have 6 races, 6 different winners. Thomas Axum could become the first repeat winner of the season, or maybe Brett Suggs continues the streak. Maybe he gets one. Maybe Caden Fisher, the kid in the 18, he has been hauling the mill right now, and he is sitting 3rd in a really good spot right now.
And don't look now, but Blaze Brinkley up to the top 5 in that 11 machine.
Yeah, Brinkley having a fantastic start to his late model shootout series career. We are back to green flag racing. Thomas Axum off and away. Suggs on the outside, and Suggs once again got a fantastic restart. He's making that outside work as well.
Now the kid, is he going to let Brett Suggs in? It looks like he's going to have to, as Brett Suggs gets a good run off of turn 2. Now Caden Fisher and Cole Cabry, they're going to be side by side for that 3rd position. Cabry trying to make things happen in the 54 car. They're just going to continue to be side by side behind them. You can see Bo Ledbetter moving forward in that 26 car. So he's now battling with Hugo Paquette in the top 10.
You can see that outside starting to come in. Cabry now challenging Caden Fisher in the 18, and Fisher just not able to clear him. He's going to try to run that 54 up the racetrack a bit, try to get a head start on him off the corner, but again, Cabry just battles back off the corner. The outside really looking strong.
Cabry right down to the door of Caden Fisher, down through turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. They'll continue to be side by side. Brinkley watching this intently. Is Caden Fisher going to slide up the racetrack just a little bit, maybe get into the 54 a little tiny bit, but now here comes Cabry back on the outside, gets the momentum. They're going to be side by side through 1 and 2.
Yeah, Fisher textbook at how you run a guy when he's on the outside. You got to move him up the racetrack just a bit. You just enter the corner a little bit later, make him wash up the racetrack and try to run up a little bit in his line. And now Brinkley going to try to do the same as Cabry, your points leader, just stuck on the outside right now. And the 11 car not going to give him much there as Brinkley's looking for 4th here at his first late model shootout series start.
Brinkley, Cabry, they move, they make contact. Cabry's into the outside wall. That's going to move Cabry back a few spots. He's now going to get a challenge from Bates. Cabry is able to keep it going. That could have been much worse than it was.
Here comes Dylan Bates. Here comes Parker Traves. And don't look now, Bo Ledbetter up to the 8th spot in that Daniel Williamson machine. He is looking strong in the 26.
Bo Ledbetter moving forward, channeling some of his inner Daniel Williamson as he's going to look to the inside of Parker Traves. Now here comes Parker Traves to the outside of Dylan Bates, and we go yellow. Oh, great racing.
I don't know if you noticed that, Bill, but Parker Traves jumped to the outside of Bates, and it worked. He almost got around the 91 right before the caution wave, but Will Dravicki, Rick Rube got together in the middle of 3 and 4, and Dravicki spun around and brings out the caution.
We will pick it up as they enter turn 3. Ooh, that looked like it could have been a lot of netcode. Dravicki with a violent snap around. Oh, it looks like Rube just gets up off the bottom just a little bit, just a flat entry, not able to keep the car down low.
Yeah, he maybe even caught the curbing down on the bottom that just kind of washed the nose of that car out, and he goes up the racetrack, and Will's just along for the ride up there.
Take a look from the Elite Performance Industries drone cam as they make contact. I hate that, Jeff. That is an odd collision box / netcode issue. They made contact door to door. It just moves Will up the racetrack, and then because of the odd netcode that we have on this race car, as they move away from each other, Will get snapped around.
Yeah, you'd hope that'd be a situation the cars would give a little bit, probably bend the doors in a little bit, and they'd continue on. But again, it just kind of hooks the 30 car, spins them around. So Thomas Axon still your leader here under caution, lap 98 of this 126 lapper. Brett Suggs, Kaden Fisher, Blaze Brinkley, Cole Cabry, Dylan Bates, Parker Traves running 7th, Bo Ledbetter up to 8th, Hugo Paquette 9th, Eric Tracy 10th.
Let's give a shout out to Dave Corsall as well in the 54 car. He's making his first start in the late model shootout series. Another one of those call ups from the Challenger series. He started very, very deep in this field, Jeff, and fell back very early on, was just kind of riding around in the back, and now he's moved his way all the way up to the 11th spot.
Well, Bill, we're hearing from some of the drivers. They're a little worried about fuel. So remember a couple weeks ago at Dover where fuel became an issue. It seems like we're heading towards the same thing here tonight.
Well, that is an interesting situation. We know Shotgun 12 Racing likes to throw a little bit of monkey wrenches at us. Maybe once again they've made these guys check on these types of things. But 126 laps here at Martinsville, and we've got a rash of yellows, which should help fuel mileage, Jeff. So I'm wondering if he was having them pay attention.
Yeah, it could be. Pace car going to head off the racetrack. Thomas Axon, Brett Suggs once again, Kaden Fisher, Blaze Brinkley in that second row. Cole Cabry finally going to get an inside restart here in that third row, and we're off and away once again. And Fisher got a great restart. He is right on the rear bumper, the 13.
Oh, big wreck out back, Jeff.
Yeah, Abendroth around. He collects Del Mears, and caution's going to wave.
So the rear of the field having issues. You saw it in the top of your screen as we went green flag racing. Let's see if we can get a good angle on this one. We'll pick it up as they come and get on the gas.
And that was Abendroth just kind of picked up the throttle too high up the racetrack. He was up in the marbles, and when he hit the gas, it just spun that car around. Collects Alex McCollum, collects Donald Clark, and Del Mears involved as well.
A lot of guys checking up. That was one car. Boy, that looked a lot worse than it was. It really was just Abendroth spinning around. I thought the whole back of the field wrecked. Aaron definitely not having the night that he's looking for. However, still 20-some laps remaining in this race, and we saw Aaron have issues early in the race and then moved his way forward. So possibility for a rally once again in that 65 machine.
Yeah, and this will be interesting to see how the points play out, as Alex McCollum and Daniel Pope are going to need to rally and try to get as many points as they can. Right now, McCollum running 15th, Daniel Pope 16th. Those are two of your guys in the top 5 right there. Had trouble and fall to the rear of the field, and that's going to open up the door for some of the guys behind them to maybe gain some spots. Axum, again, third in points behind McCollum. I think it's only a 1-point gap back. Actually, it's a 4-point gap back to Alex McCollum, so he could pick that up right now.
as we did not get a lap in, so lights will be out on the pace car, but this will be a single file restart.
Also, a quick shout out to Dave Corsel, who's running in the 10th spot in his late model shootout series debut. These Challenger Series guys came up. We got a couple of them running in the top 10, and they're looking really strong tonight.
Well, we knew it was possible, Jeff. We know how good that series really is. A lot of really good drivers. Is now Axel going to be on the gas pedal once again. He's got Brett Suggs right on his back bumper. Nice restart by Suggs. Then a little bit of a gap back to Fisher, who's going to make that ground up going into turn 1. Single file through turns 1 and 2.
Single file going to spread them out a little bit. It usually does. And right now, Thomas Axum going to try to drive away. And the guys behind him, that's Brett Suggs in the 33, Kaden Fisher in the 18, Blaze Brinkley in the 11 running 4th. Cole Cavery, your points leader, sitting in the 5th spot.
Who's going to try to make a move? Well, if somebody tried to poke their nose to the outside and drive it in, we've seen how fast the outside has been. Can you make a move around a guy on the outside? Does it have to happen while everybody's racing, or can you actually do something with the guy? I don't know if anybody has the guts. Suggs going to look up there in the 33, or maybe he's trying the over-under. Not able to get a run down the back straightaway.
Caution is going to wave trouble on the racetrack. It did not
Parker
see.
Traves. Traves had issues in the 60 car.
And it sounds like Bo Ledbetter already called it. He already said, hey, that was my fault. He got in there and ran into the back of the 60 of Parker Traves.
Oh, Bo just getting in there really hard. And Parker, we had talked about how good of a night he was having, so it kind of comes to I guess, hits a speed bump. He's going to get a shot from his teammate, actually. Yeah, Bo just gets in there, Jeff. First time we've had to say this tonight.
Yeah, just a C-card on hit car situation, and Bo just trying to be aggressive, and he rolls that corner really well. Parker had a car in front of him. He couldn't really do much, and he kind of got ran over there, just the man in the middle. And that's a bummer for Parker Traves, who was having a fantastic run, and now all of a sudden he's lost a bunch of spots. He's going to fall all the way back to about 12th, I think. And Bo Ledbetter are going to go the rear of the field for bringing out that caution. So that's basically the worst-case scenario for both of them right there.
If you're just watching this broadcast and you are thinking to yourself, hey, I want to go super late model racing, but I don't know how to set those cars up. Jeff, I think I'm going to go over to ElitePerformanceIndustries.com. I'm going to buy me a setup and go racing. What do you say?
Yeah, if you're wondering if you can find a good setup anywhere, you go over to Elite Performance Industries. Every single week they post how many official wins they get. It's unreal.
I want some of those wins. I want some of those wins.
So if you need some of those wins, if you need a setup, those are the guys to go see. Head over to Elite Performance Industries. Check out their Facebook page. Give them a like for us. Let them know you're watching. Hopefully some of you are all watching over on their Facebook stream as well, as we're live on the Elite Performance Facebook. But Bill, pace car lights are out, and I think, as you would say, the price of poker has gone up right now. Thomas Axum, Brett Suggs here, lap 109 restart.
Axum hitting the gas pedal, clear Suggs. Suggs didn't get as good a restart as he did the previous restart. He's going to drop down in a second immediately. That's going to check up Kaden Fisher just a little bit. You saw Fisher wiggle. Blaze Brinkley around the outside. That checked up Kaden Fisher. Now Fisher's going to have to battle back on the bottom as we have cars all over the place back here. It was Mccollum moving forward in the one car. He's going to be underneath Corsall. Watch out. Here comes Alex Mccollum. He's going to get a tap from the 54 car.
Corsall gets in the back of the one. One holds on to it. That's Alex Mccollum. Some drivers falling back on the outside. Some are just moving forward like Blaze Brinkley, just running the top side and moving past cars. He is challenging with Kaden Fisher. Now Fisher gets a bump off turn 4. That's going to slow his momentum. I think Brinkley's going to have him cleared into turn 1.
He does. He drives down in front of him. That's going to clear him. Now Cole Cavery going to get in the back of Kaden Fisher. Now he's going to turn him sideways. Fisher able to save it, but that's going to be problems for Kaden Fisher. He lost all his momentum. Cole Cavery gave him a shot. That wasn't very nice from your points leader. And now Kaden Fisher sitting back about the 9th spot after having a top 5 run all night long.
Yeah, that's disappointing for Fisher because that was his best run of the season. 3 wide going into turn 1 with Willie Howells, Hugo Paquette, Parker Traves. Howell's going to take advantage of that.
That's
Traves
3 teammates, Jeff. 3 teammates, and here comes, Will Javicki turned around. Big wreck on the back straightaway.
Donald Clark involved. Del Mears gets caught up in that one as well. And, man, everybody is just going for every last spot right now. Teammates running each other 3 wide at Martinsville.
I don't even know what to say. That was mayhem. It looks like Donald Clark and Will Dravicki made contact on the back straightaway. They came off of turn 2. Dravicki got loose. And I'm trying to figure out how this happened. Looks like Dravicki just gets up into the inside of Donald Clark. Clark gets into the outside wall. It's tough to call how that occurred. But to me, it looks like Clark is just fine, and Dravicki just slides up into his door. Dravicki gets sideways. He'll crash. That was unfortunate for the 30 car, just not his night tonight. And then Donald Clark also having issues. That car ends up spinning around. He gets it turned back around, though, so he'll continue.
I got to wonder there with Will, if we got to look at his onboard. He's probably seen the 3 wide in front of him. And I think he's
really excited.
Yeah, and I think he's more focused on what's going on in front of him and just ends up washing up the racetrack into the side of Donald Clark. And it's probably a moment where he thought they were probably going to wreck, and it just kind of surprised him that they didn't. He just ended up in a really bad spot there on the inside, wasn't able to keep that car pinned down. And once he made contact with Donald, they kind of got hooked together coming off the corner, and around he went.
Yeah, that might have been more of a racing deal there. Just watching it from each guy's in-car camera, Will Dravicki didn't really move out much. And Donald definitely did not come. Didn't look like he came down. Looked like he was staying down there. It looks like Dravicki was just really low. They just made contact. Boy, oh boy. Mayhem out in front of them.
Yeah, that was a wild sequence of events there. A lot of cars fell back to the field. Kaden Fisher, one of them. He was running 4th on the racetrack. He is back to the 9th spot. Willie Howells gained a few spots there. He was able to get around both Parker Traves and his teammate Hugo Paquette. Paquette has fallen all the way back to 13th now. The 33 car just kind of struggling at the end of this one.
Yeah, this is getting extremely exciting. We are underneath 10 laps to go. And these guys, no holds barred at this point.
Well, Bill, here we go. Pace car lights are out. It'll be Axum again with Brett Suggs. Now, Blaze Brinkley on the inside. Cole Cabrey on the outside of that second row. We are green flag racing once again, and Suggs got a fantastic restart. He is nose to nose with Axum at the start-finish line.
They're going to be side by side into turn 1 at some point. Suggs has to try to make this move. He's been slotting down behind him, trying to make it happen. Can't get the move done on the outside. He'll fall back behind him. Here comes Blaze Brinkley on the inside. Here comes Cole Cabrey on the outside.
Brinkley holding on to that 3rd spot. Cole Cabrey, your points leader, he wants that position. It's more points. And look who's behind them. Alex Mccollum is back up to 5th. Had his troubles, got turned around. He's found his way to the top 5.
Mccollum on the move in the one machine, but Brinkley and Cabrey, they're going to stay side by side. You can see through that shot that everybody behind them is pretty much single file, as these guys are going to bang door to door down the front straightaway and off of turn 4. Down into turn 1, they'll stay side by side.
Brinkley and Cabrey running into each other door to door. McCollum did not get through the corner. He got a shot from Dylan Bates. Now Cabrey going to slot in line in front of McCollum. They are all single file. Your top 2 are starting to run away, though.
Shout out to Blaze Brinkley as he clears your points leader of Cole Cabrey. Brinkley up into 3rd. Cabrey trying to make things happen now as he's going to try to get back to Brinkley, or is Brinkley going to be able to drive away? Now Alex Mccollum in the 1 is there. Dylan Bates in the 91 is there as well, and your front 2 are trying to settle it between each other.
Bill, they're going to get 5 to go at the line this time. Thomas Axum, your leader. Brett Suggs, 2nd. Can Suggs become the 7th winner in 7 races, or will Axum become the first repeat winner? He's led almost all of this race with 5 laps to go.
Well, with 5 to go, Thomas Axum leading this race. Will Suggs give him the chrome horn? Is he going to use the bumper? That's going to have to be his weapon of choice. He's not going to get it done just getting around this 13 cars. Axum is perfect with his lines right now, and Suggs right there as well. Will he give him the shot, Jeff? We'll have to decide. Only a few laps remaining to find out.
These guys have put about a second on Blaze Brinkley, so it's a 2-horse race. Axum got off the curb off turn 4. Brett Suggs going to take advantage. He's going to lead that lap, and he's going to battle back on the outside. Here comes Axum trying to get into the 33. Not going to do it. Brett Suggs, your new leader.
Suggs goes by the 13 car. Axum made a mistake. I think I jinxed him, Jeff. It was like a kicker that had never missed a kick. He was perfect until that corner, gets into the curb, opens the door. Suggs by to P1.
Suggs out front. Here comes McCollum. He's going to take a peek under Cabrey for the 4th spot. He gets the position, but not able to hold on. Now, McCollum currently running 5th as Brett Suggs is driving away. He's going to see the white flag, this time off turn 4.
Brett Suggs trying to pick up his first win of the season. He's going to tap the wall down the front straightaway. And now Cabry down to the inside. He's going to battle with Mccollum. Suggs on the final lap.
Down the back straightaway, just one lap to go for Brett Suggs. He's looking to become the 7th winner in 7 races of the late model shootout series. Off turn 4, he's going to see the checkered flag win the Daniel Williamson Memorial 126, his first win of the season. Thomas Axum going to come home second after leading almost 120 laps tonight.
It only took one mistake, but Axum caught the curb through 3 and 4. Suggs was there to capitalize. I had just talked about it. He didn't need the chrome horn. Brett Suggs able to make the move after Axum bumped the curb. Give Cole Cabry fourth at the end as he was battling with Alex Mccollum. But man, oh man, that battle for the win. Suggs has got to be excited.
Alex Mccollum going to come home 5th. Dylan Bates 6th. Dave Corsell in his first start, he's going to finish 7th. Caden Fisher 8th. Eric Tracy gets a top 10 once again in the 67. Willie Howes finishes 10th tonight. Daniel Pope recovers for 11th place finish. Parker Trey's 12th. Hugo Paquette 13th. Elliott Carlson. Del Mears your top 15 drivers.
Donald Clark will come home 16th. Aaron Abendroth 17th. Corey Bigley 18th. Rick Rube 19th, Jason Warren 20th, Will Dravicki 21st, Bo Ledbetter, Peter Fisher, Bladen Edwards, Peyton Howell, and Jeff Rivard. Actually, AJ Rogers will finish dead last on the field as we started 27. But Brett Suggs, your Daniel Williamson Memorial 126 winner.
Well, Bill, we get a chance to talk to him. We're going to try to get our entire top 3 with us, but first we're going to talk to our winner, Brett Suggs. And Brett, you didn't lead many laps tonight, but you led the ones that counted. Talk us through what happened there as you're chasing down Thomas Axum with just a few laps to go in that one.
Man, what a race, and what a special race, too, to bring home the win for. We were decent in practice, and once we put a good qualifying lap on the board, I knew we had a shot to win this thing, but I was, kind of content riding there behind Axum. I was going to try to, set him up, see if I could get a run, but I mean, you guys saw it all race. It's so hard to make a good, clean pass without, any sort of contact, any sort of bumper. And I wasn't going to do that to Thomas because he was helping keep me in P2 pretty much all race. So I was looking to just ride, and I saw him hit the curb. I was like, this is my shot as long as he doesn't come back down the track after getting sideways. And, luckily, man, it worked out, and we were able to bring it home.
Well, Brett, we had an exciting time calling that race. You went you were right there the entire time. I believe, Jeff, you actually picked Brett this week. If I
did.
Correctly, you did. So, Brett, you actually had one of the guys in the booth semi-rooting for you as you were his pick. But last week, not such a great week. It was your worst week, actually, of the season at Oxford. The first time you actually got scored outside of the top 5. This will make your 6th top 5 finish. But you go from your worst week to your best week. How were you able to make that happen? How were you able to make the recovery? Was Oxford just not a place you like, and you're having more fun here at Martinsville?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's crazy to say that a P6 was our worst finish of the series.
That is absolutely crazy. You're right.
Yeah, just been really consistent point race, and that's what it's all about. And again, to the playoffs and everything. But no, I've always had decent speed here at Martinsville compared to Oxford. The Oxford setup, I just couldn't really get a handle on it. But luckily here at Martinsville, I was able to figure it out pretty good there during some of the long run green flag laps we were turning. And I knew if we could be top 3, I was going to be good with that because it'd be really good for points. But like I said, once I saw Axum hit the curb down there, I was like, this is a good opportunity to finally seal the deal on this thing.
Well, bro, we talk to you every week, it seems like, and we keep saying you're one of the busiest guys on iRacing. You're always doing so much. You got your Twitch stream going, I'm sure, tonight. What's next up for you throughout this week?
Yeah, I'm not too sure how many streams I'll be doing this week. I got a big thing for college, an award ceremony tomorrow night, so I'm not sure if I'll be live. But Wednesday, I'll probably be live for some SAR 87 Cup Series races. Thursday, I've got a big all-star race and another league I'm running. And then this weekend, I'll be working with a driver and team at the Cars Tour at Greenville Pickens. So definitely staying busy. No shortage of that. I'm a little bit under the weather too, as you can probably hear my voice. So I don't know if I'm gonna race anymore tonight. I mean, I'm all hyped up, so I might just have to put another race on the board, see what we can do. But yeah, rest of the week it's looking pretty busy.
Well, maybe being sick is the key to victory for you, Brett. I don't know, but you talked about it. Your P6 was your worst finish of the season. Before that P6, your worst finish obviously fifth, but it was a bunch of thirds and fourths. Tonight, jump up to the big P1, having the speed, getting to that point. Who do you want to thank that has helped you get to this level?
Yeah, for sure. I want to shout out Axum and McCollum there. Tough break for Alex to go all the way to the back, but great recovery coming back up to P5. So shout out to those boys. We were working hard that race, and it definitely paid off there by the end of it. But of course, everybody at Team 33, twitch.tv/BrettSuggs33, that's following along on the stream, as well as the custom Matco, Brett Suggs Racing Marketing, Racer Tees, T1S Racing. We're hoping for some big things with the T1S guys for tomorrow night's race. But yeah, I mean, everybody that puts this whole league on, you guys killing these broadcasts each and every week, twice a week. It's crazy how much you guys put out some great content. But appreciate everybody all around.
Well, Brett, we're going to go let you celebrate your first win of the season. You became the 7th winner in 7 races. The competition in this series has just been unreal this season. Before you go, do you think anybody's going to become a repeat winner?
I don't know. We're starting to get a little bit slim on some of those guys that are consistently up front, but there's some guys that have just had some bad luck that hasn't transpired to a win. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Where do we go next race?
We're heading to Five Flags next week.
5 Flags. Okay, I think that's a good chance for a repeat there.
All right, Brett, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. We're going to let you go back to your Twitch stream, maybe run another race tonight, and congratulations once again.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
So Bill Thomas, Axum, going to join us. Thomas, you led just about 120 laps to that one, and at the end, Brett ends up getting around you. Talk to us about what happened there in the closing stages of that one.
Yeah, I just caught the curb. Just sucks. I mean, you do all that. I had executed the plan, just get out front early, and worked with Brett all race, so I had no worries about getting dirty raced, and just made a silly mistake, caught the curb, and see you later, the 33.
It sounds clearly you're dejected, Thomas. I mean, we know what it feels like to, have something happen like that, and can you talk us through the corner? I mean, it's hard for us to even ask the question. I feel terrible that you were there. And can you talk us through the corner? Maybe what happened? Were you checking the mirrors? I mean, I had just made the comment on the broadcast, and I feel like I jinxed you about how perfect you were being with your lines, and it was going to be really hard for Brett to get around you. And then the curb reached out and bit you. Is there something that happened in that corner that was a little bit different?
No, I've already watched it 37 angles 100 times. I just made the mistake that I never ever do. I don't make mistakes. I just look out front and do my thing, and just so happened that 1 in a million I need to go buy a scratch ticket.
Well, Thomas, you said you executed the plan. You got out front early. Was there a concern tonight about tires? We saw Oxford where the tires fell off a lot. Was there any concern at all about the pace you were setting out front and whether the tires were going to last 126 laps?
Yeah, I had an absolute fluke last week. That's why just 2 weeks in a row, it just sucks. I mean, I know you can't win every week, but I need another one before we head into the playoffs. So we do got next week, but yeah, the tires were a little bit of a thought, but Pope pushed the pace early and he set the standard, so I'm gonna follow him, and that's what we did out front. And I knew when we had that yellow, I knew it was gonna be a couple more yellows, so I wasn't worried about the tires, and then just made the mistake there. Man, made the mistake.
Well, Thomas, I know it's killing you, but remember, you still finished second, so still a fantastic finish. Helps you out a tremendous amount in the points. That if you're gonna finish out, you're not gonna win the race. You did it just as well. So having that finish, I mean, it's gonna replace the worst finish you've had so far this season. And I feel terrible, but it's a great finish, Thomas. So don't feel too bad about how where you ended up.
Absolutely. No, I got a little punching bag out there, but I still get a little placard on the weekly Facebook post. So just on that note, just shout out to you guys for those as well. Everything on Facebook, the broadcast, just like I say every single week, my competition, the greatest guys to race with. I mean, it's clean out there. I don't have no issues working with a 33 and Mccollum and just all the guys out there.
Well, Thomas, we're going to give you a chance to thank anybody you need to thank, sponsors on your car and the guys that help you out on the team. Go ahead and name them off if you got some chance here.
Yeah, just Bernier's Liquor, Studios 10 Designs, and my fellow competition.
Well, Thomas, congratulations on a second place. I know it wasn't the finish you were looking for at the end there, but still, like I said, a great points night. And come back and get him next week at Five Flags.
Yes, sir. We'll see him next week. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Appreciate it, Thomas.
Well, Bill, we're going to be joined by Blaze Brinkley. His first start in the late model shootout series comes out firing with a third place finish. Blaze, what's the difference between running with these guys and the Challenger series?
These guys, they're on it. I mean, once you get inside the top 15, I mean, really the whole field's really good, obviously, but the top 10, the top 15 is super, super strong in this league. And you really just have to find mistakes on their end or try to get it on a restart. I just tried staying smooth and getting spots when I could, but not trying to be too over aggressive and get involved in one of those yellows.
So Blaze, I know having self-confidence is a mark of being a good race car driver, right? But when you were moved up to the late model shootout series, did you really think you'd be talking to us at the end of the night?
Oh, I mean, I've raced with a bunch of these guys before. They're really good. They're really good at what they do. They're really good on here. I know Alex in real life.
But top
pretty
three, Blaze, top three, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. It's a good feeling. Hopefully we can just continue to run good in the Challenger series and try to get a championship there.
Well, Blaze, I want to go back through that race there, and there's a few points. You were passing cars on the inside, you were passing cars on the outside. Did the track change a little bit where the outside started to become a little bit stronger as the race went on?
Yeah, because in the beginning of the race, you really, if you got out there, it was kind of like going backwards, and I noticed that really quick, so I was really focused on getting on the bottom. But then towards the end there, it kind of got really tight and the tires started to wear off, so the top was able to kind of maintain or maybe gain just a little bit. Uh, Luckily, we were able to clear down there and kind of worked out for us.
Well, Blaze, I'm the thank you guy, and we've talked to you in the late model challenger series, but here you are in the big stage of the late model shootout series. Who do you want to thank? Clearly, you showed a tremendous amount of speed tonight with these guys and coming through the field. But who do you want to thank that's got you to this point, got you that kind of speed?
I got to thank Josh Kosick for spotting for me all night and just kind of helping me stay calm in some of those situations and getting through wrecks and restarts. And uh, JHGD Wraps for keeping me looking good.
Well, Blaze, we're going to let you go celebrate your third place finish and get ready for tomorrow night. We're going to go another 126 laps for the Challenger Series. As you said, points leader and championship on the line. What do you think your chances are? You got some track time tonight and a good understanding of the racetrack and what the tires are going to do. How do you feel about tomorrow night?
Well, I feel like we'll have some pretty good speed. We'll just see how things shake out. Hopefully we can get a good qualifying run. That's something I noticed tonight is starting up front really helps you here. It's pretty hard to pass.
All right, well, we'll see Blaze Brinkley tomorrow night for the Late Model Challenger Series Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be back live. And then again, Monday night, we're going to go again for the Late Model Shootout Series, heading to round number 8, the Wadsworth Motor Cars, 5 Flags Speedway 125. Bill, that's going to be some fun racing. 5 Flags, really fast racetrack. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
That is going to be fun next week. 5 Flags, a very difficult place to pass, but once you do make the move on somebody, as long as you're not trying to do off turn 4, I always close my eyes when guys try to make the move off turn 4. But fun place to race, home of the Snowball Derby. But it'll be great next week. Although before that happens, Jeff, I'm going to look forward to another Daniel Williamson Memorial 126 tomorrow night with the Late Model Challenger Series. It was a good show tonight. It was enjoyable, and the setup was fantastic from Shock I-12 Racing once again. And I'm hoping that these guys learned a little bit. We talk about it every week. The guys from Tuesday. Clearly, Blaze Brinkley's figured something out. So we'll tab him as the favorite tomorrow. But the outside comes in at the end of the race, and that should make for some good racing tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss tomorrow night. We've been averaging over 40 cars per race. We're going to start 26 of the best tomorrow night in our development series. The guys trying to make this Monday night series. Some of them already did. We're looking for some more to join us here in the Late Model Shootout Series. You're not going to want to miss the action tomorrow night. Going to be fantastic racing for another Daniel Williamson Memorial 126. We will see you at 9 p.m. Eastern on our Facebook, on our Twitch, live on our YouTube. You can find us on our website, inthezoneracing.com. We will see you tomorrow night.